Got a spike on the RWR. Strange PRF.
What's wrong?
Control lost. Can't maintain RPM. We're settling.
Recovered control. Ascending. Hey, Snake. There's something wrong with Eli.
Uy, qué bueno que me avisaste, tenía desconectado el micrófono. Bacán. Bacán. Bacán, bacán. Media hora hablando solo, como lo hubo. Bueno, por lo menos no me pudiste escuchar comiendo criadito. Nos quedamos la última vez para entender bueno, y te hacen entender que Psycho Mantis como la ira de Eli la pasó hasta Solange porque Solange estaba muy bien. ¿Cómo te va a ti pronunciando eso? Y tiene un pirulete. No va a disparar. ¿Y el pirulete que tiene?
PRF anomaly. Quick is outbound. Deploying the AO for now.
All units, move in!
solito. No vale que la entendí, es un látigo de esta la caga. Nosotros acá hecho, pero es que copia.
Cypher will rewrite the records, and I will vanish from human memory. But the thirst for revenge that I have planted will infest the system. No one can stop it now.
Hemos visto la historia o
will
escuchado
unleash that thirst
la historia de
unto the
este weón.
future.
Está en los cassettes. Así que después de esto podemos hacer unas side-ups escuchando las weas para entender qué tan demente estaba.
I'm burning up!
Boss, get out of there!
No. No es mi potito. Igual penca haber tenido un personaje tan controvertido como Skullface y uno en realidad nunca lucha con él. Me lata. O muere como
If the world finds out about Sahelanthropus, Skullface will have won. His plans will become reality. He won't even need to use nukes. That thing's mere existence would be enough to enslave humanity to the fear of nuclear Armageddon. It would tear the world apart. Boss!
Así mi viejo me devolvió el auto hoy día, ya que el weón mandó a arreglar su auto. Creo que te había comentado, lo está usando toda esta semana él.
It's after you. You need to stop it, boss. Destroy Sahelanthropus.
Todo eso es la mierda.
Boss, stop Sahelanthropus. Destroy that thing. I'll rally Diamond Dogs and provide backup.
Puede estar moviendo como loca. Estoy acá por esta fuerza que está acá. Me devolvió igual como salió esta fuerza. Me lo devolvió. Aún no me lo terminé de devolver, está usándolo aún. Porque no había restricción, así que puedo usar. A mí si le está como raro. Que es como una nube. Como demasiado friki esa nube que hay en el cielo. Ahí está la otra. Uno igual se puede subir a los tanques y estas cosas y empezar a dispararle, pero no está tan conveniente porque si no te hace mierda. Cielo, mira cómo está el cielo, como Stranger Things. ¿Veis como todo eso? Como una capa de nube. Solo una parte, super piripiado, o sea, se bacán y toda la web. Chet. Hey, not cool. Wow, estrellas. Destellos. Yo creo que igual le da como un toque que sea solo una parte. Bueno, no creo. Shit. Run, bitch. Run. Está parado como concha de madre. Esta weá nunca la había visto que tenía que parar ahí. Ay, me estoy disparando por el pirulete.
after hours. Take it out. You never cease to amaze, boss.
Igual me tiraron a la mierda las supplies, weón.
Taking too many hits. I gotta pull out. Nearly there,
Wow.
Snake.
¿Dónde están las supplies? ¿Dónde están mis supplies? Concha tu madre, me encerré en una mierda. Sí, me recuerda a algo con el control de látigo. Hello, hello. No hay espacio, no hay ángulo. También. Flash low también. Esta wea. Ay, el que lo controla. Voy a aprovechar para dispararle ahí. Wow. corre. Bueno, a mí se le ocurre dejarla ahí, weón. ¿Cómo está la batalla para ti? Muy intensa. Ah, ¿por qué me pasa esto? Qué madre. No está tan cerca de morir, weón. Yo creo que ahora sí. Oh. Ah. Ahí Eli perdió el control. Claramente, si hubiera estado jugando, hubiera sudado. Hasta a mí me
Snake!
sudó. Bueno, Snake de verdad está... Pero bueno... Para la cagada.
Let's see Skullface.
Snake tiene la mitad de la cara carbonizada. Aún vivo. El weón nunca soltó el frasco.
There were 3. Where's the other?
Very close to you.
El super traje de astronauta. Yo pensé que era de Paco, según. Miren el weoncito. El mal.
Me.
penca te dan la opción de disparar o no. Como lo más probable es que esté desfasado, voy a disparar igual. No puede tener la opción de no disparar. Pero vamos a disparar. Imagino que eso es lo que tú quieres. Así que démosle. Bueno, ya disparamos y ya sabes por qué disparar.
Do it yourself. Mission complete, boss.
El mínimo común denominador.
I did it! Revenge!
Huey.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Chuchun. Ah, qué pena. ¿Y eso vos, guacha? ¿Qué opináis? Ahora viene mi parte favorita, como por la música, el ambiente, lo que pasa, así que disfrutemos. Yo no tengo nada acá, probablemente vamos a gozar. Ahí está la linda de Quiet.
Anyone can give up his fight by laying down arms. But the feeling of holding a gun, that we'll never forget. Like our lost limbs. The sensation lingers.
Si se aman, ¿no?
Here she comes! Here she comes!
Muy bonito de Lily. Déjalo, ya está muerto. Así quedó después de jugar la pelota.
We hold our rifles in missing hands. We stand tall on missing legs. We stride forward on the bones of our fallen. Then, and only then, are we alive. This pain is ours, and no one else's. A secret weapon we wield, out of sight. We will be stronger than ever, for our peace. Sahelanthropus will unleash that thirst unto the future. Those were his last words.
Kaz.
Pretentious to the end. Still, doesn't feel like this is over. And I'll never be whole again.
Y eso era, po. Pero spoilers, si es que no quieres escuchar lo que te voy a decir ahora, pausealo unos 5 segundos. Este es el primer final. Esa hueá no puede ser buena. ¿Y nadie vio esa hueá? Este es el primer final. Como en Peace Walker, ¿te acordáis que hubo un final después de que detuvimos el Metal Gear? O sea, detuvimos entre comillas el ataque. ¿Te acordáis que Peace Walker se metió hasta, no me acuerdo si era lago o mar? Y quedó hasta ahí nomás. ¿Te acuerdas de eso? Y después de eso tuvimos que encontrar a Florno. Y el final ocurrió después de enfrentar a Paz. Ese era el final. Puede ser como algo similar entre comillas, como primer final de tener Skullface, de tener el plan de Skullface, de tener a Samuel, y ese es el primer final. Como lograr esta, entre comillas, venganza que se tenía contra él, por obviamente sus planes y por lo que le hizo a Mother Base 9 años atrás, por lo que le hizo a Kazuhiro Miller 9 años atrás, y por lo que le hizo a Big Boss 9 años atrás. Entonces, primer final y el otro final no te puedo decir, pero vamos a llegar a él. Eso sí, es menos latero llegar a este final que el otro, porque en el otro te acordáis que uno tenía que encontrar a Sadorno y uno lo encontraba y el weón se volvía a escapar y uno tenía que hacer cualquier misión para que el weón se vuelva a escapar, entonces era un poco tedioso porque era siempre lo mismo, pero un poco menos tedioso. Hay que repetir misiones, eso sí, pero menos tedioso, más dinámico, por lo menos. No sé si uno se puede saltar los títulos porque después de esta hay una escena post créditos que igual es como importante en el desarrollo de la trama que viene. Entonces no sé si salto los créditos o salto esta wea. No lo voy a marcar porque no me acuerdo en realidad. No me acuerdo si salta todo, salta una parte después de todo el tiempo que nos costó derrotar a tenemos que seguir desarrollando esas líneas. No hemos buscado ninguna foto. Deberíamos hacer eso ahora. Si quieres, ir a buscar un par de fotos para seguir también como la línea de paz. Y el tema de Liquid, ya que ahora vamos a aparecer en Mother Base, partamos con eso. Vamos a patearle el trasero al Liquid, que quería tener una revancha. Para que en el último capítulo, la última stream, Ocelot habló con nosotros y nos comentó que Liquid tenía una revancha, que se iba a filmar y nos iba a esperar más o menos una persona de la. Después de eso vamos con los fotos. Y también, ahora también se desarrolla todo el hilo a fondo de Quiet. Deberíamos escuchar esas cintas que tampoco hemos escuchado, así que ahí tenemos que trabajar en eso. Te tenía hasta el copy solo jugándose a cada rato, como soy misiones, no quería saber nada más de él. Recién ahora pude ver los memes que me mandaste el otro día. Acá está en la página. Cuando no quieres encariñarte más. Jaja, qué divertido. Por eso no me hablas tanto de repente. Luego como lo mismo. Está divertido. El otro es cuando peleas contra todos los empleados de Sarit. Este está bueno. ¿Qué onda el pelo ese weón? Te mandé un video súper bueno del Chepito. Ahí está. Los cassettes los vamos a escuchar ahora. Mientras hacemos todos estos temas, los vamos a ir como de fondo. pero los vi. Pero el que te mandé yo está igual terrible, bueno. Así se aplica autoservicio al chepito y no te tiene que huevear a ti cada vez que quiera tomar agüita. El culiadito. Deja la pura cagada. Lo más divertido me tinca es cuando se mete a la mano con las patitas sucias, deja todas las patitas manchadas. Mira, ahora te voy a mandar otro video del chepito. Vamos a ver qué pasa. Oh, el nombre de Hideo Kojima. Puta, parece que era saltable la escena. Nos dieron como 1000 cassettes más, así que ahora tenemos como 1 millón de weas más que escuchar. Ahora podemos desarrollar o deshacernos de armas nucleares. ¿Qué opinas, Rose? ¿Es hora de hacer un arma nuclear o no? No puede tener armas nucleares. No puede hacer armas nucleares. Nos dio un caleta de weones ese. A todos esos weones hay que guardarlo. Carlos, sí. Puras weas brígidas se vienen. Bueno, qué bueno que el Chepito ya no haga esas cosas. Igual divertido que lo haya hecho, era para grabar al Chepito haciéndote eso. Qué bueno que ya está más bien
Attention!
comportado. Diosito
Diamond Dogs!
sabe lo que es
Even
bueno.
with Skullface dead, our brothers are unavenged. And the phantom pain he brought us lives on. Cypher is still out there. We know they've planted spies, parasites among us. Watch the man to your left, to your right. Assume nothing. Report everything. It's the only way to protect ourselves. From here on out, you will be my eyes.
El weón estaba más ciego.
The deadliest enemy's right here in our midst. And they will get no mercy.
¿Cómo se veía la bandera de Riot ahí flameando? ¿Mm? Yo creo que
Even
me
with
echaría una
Skullface
visita.
dead, our pain is still right with us. We need more strength. We need more men. Diamond Dogs needs to be bigger. Missions have come in too. We still have a long road ahead of us.
Thank you for getting rid of the disease, boss.
Vamos a pegarnos la visita. Ves que cambiaron y pusieron un montón de stickers en la base. Big Boss is watching you. Big Boss is watching you. Esto es como una referencia al libro 1984 de Orson Welles. Big Brother. Porque es seco. Por eso. Ya, pues empecemos con los cassettes. Bueno, el weón está ciego, sin un brazo, sin una pierna. Nada, qué weón. Puta, tenemos que hacer algo un poquito latero ahora, pero hay que hacerlo. Tenemos que guardar los buenos que tienen rango S. S más, de hecho. Y ahí están todos. Veamos si podemos desarrollar algo divertido. Un brazo biónico dorado, no. Nada por ahora. Cassette nomás. Vamos a comenzar con...
Look closely. Those are the symptoms of the infection on Mother Base.
Ya eso ya pasamos más de veces, así que da igual. Identificación.
remember before, boss.
Esto igual es
Quiet
importante.
attacked one of our guys on Mother Base, stuck a knife in his mouth.
¿Te
He's
acordáis de
one of the
eso?
very few soldiers who've had contact with her recently. Close contact. I don't think it's a coincidence that he was among those who became symptomatic pretty early on in this epidemic. Saliva and blood spatter, an open wound, mucosal infection. Whatever is causing this got inside him then.
Miller, that is a baseless accusation.
The source of the
Tenemos que llegar
infection
ahí.
is quiet. Everyone
Bueno, ¿por
suspects
qué no
her.
tenemos un
We don't know
camioncito para
that.
allí?
And we've come across these symptoms before. The bodies in the water at the oil field facility. Those sick people in the beds at the Devil's House. They're identical to what we've seen while we've been after Cypher. The infection could have come from elsewhere. But at the very least, she does know something.
It's not like she's gonna talk.
No, not through words anyway. But what about her actions? Quiet held a knife to that soldier back then, before he became symptomatic. There must have been a reason for that.
A reason for shoving a knife down the throat of one of our men.
What if she's capable of identifying who's infected? What if she was trying to stop the infection but couldn't communicate that to us? The answer to that, the source of the infection, might be in the mouths of the infected.
You think there's some kind of clue in their mouths?
I don't know. But maybe there's something about the mouths of those who've become symptomatic, something in common.
Something their mouths have in common. Forget it. We can't trust her. Even if she can spot the infected, I don't want her help.
I understand how you feel. But this is something to go on.
Por mientras,
Can't you see it's just like I
saquemos
said?
algunas cosas
Bringing
buenas.
her here was a big mistake. Quiet is gonna be the end of us.
Stand down. You've got zero proof. Try to keep an open mind on this, boss. There has to be a way to identify who's infected.
Y ahí te explicaban un poco y te explicaban por qué Quiet en esa oportunidad le quiso enterrar el cuchillo a esa persona en Mother Base. ¿Te acordáis que hubo todo un cutscene?
Boss, I have the report on that cargo we stole from Cypher's truck.
Bueno, odia a
The
Quiet.
PF was transporting two things. The analysis of that malachite has come back first. Naturally, the main compound is copper. There's also a small amount of cobalt. Nothing unusual so far. Southern Zaire is a well-known copper belt. However, in addition to these, we also detected a trace amount of uranium. The content percentage, though, is too low for nuclear development.
Esas son las cosas
It
que
most likely
encontraron
came
en
from
uno de los
Chicxulub
camiones que
mine.
protegía
That's where the uranium in
la
that
unidad
area
parásito.
comes from. The mine's closed, as all the high-purity uranium ore dried up a long time ago. But you could probably still find it there in small quantities. That said, there are plenty of other uranium mines that are in operation, like in Niger, Namibia, South Africa. Why go to an abandoned mine to scrape up whatever's left and ship it out in mass quantities without refining it? They were transporting that yellow cake too,
Celos,
which would suggest they have the
No, no
technology to
creo.
refine uranium.
odio y
Anyway,
venganza
that about
porque
sums it
recuerda que
up.
Quiet trabajaba
Unfortunately, the
con
analysis of that yellow cake is taking a little longer.
Skullface
I'll let you know when it's done.
o Cypher.
Boss, sorry to keep you waiting. We finally finished analyzing that yellow cake Cypher was moving. There was nothing unusual about the composition of the yellow cake itself. Most of it was oxidized uranium, with the rest being impurities, various metals as well as traces of organic matter. What's interesting is the composition of these impurities. When we checked them against the impurities found in the copper ore, it was clear the yellow cake didn't come from Chicxulub, meaning they went to the trouble of mining two sources of uranium, then transported them together in different states. Another thing, we detected a very thin layer of highly enriched uranium in the middle of the yellow cake. Now that is very interesting. It may not be a lot, but it points to the existence of uranium-enriching technology. After all, yellow cake can't naturally produce highly enriched uranium. If they could mass-produce this, they'd be just one step away from a gun barrel-type nuclear bomb.
But uranium enrichment requires advanced technology and a large-scale facility. If that kind of place existed in Zaire, the Soviet Union wouldn't sit idly by. And there's another question. Where were they transporting the yellowcake and malachite uranium? The first place that comes to mind is South Africa. The government was supposed to have abandoned nuclear weapons development after caving to international pressure.
¿Qué me está esperando ahí?
But rumors persist that it's continued in secret. Plus, ZRS were escorting the truck, and they're based out of South Africa. And then South Africa does have an abandoned test site. If Cypher's involved with nuclear development in South Africa. But how would that fit with their weapon to surpass Metal Gear? We need more information.
Shinkolobwe. There's a name I haven't heard in a while.
The U.S. bought a
También.
lot of uranium
No
from
mala tu
Shinkolobwe
teoría.
mine during World War II for the Manhattan Project. They even sent a squad from the Army Corps of Engineers to
Ya esto
reopen.
fome. De ahí viene África hoy día, dice el mercenario legendario, fome, fuerzas privadas, fome, fuerza privada,
Within the
sucesos
CFAs,
actuales en África, fome,
look at the Angola-Zaire border region. The east bank of the Munene
la
River.
propagación de walking gears,
Hard to believe how many of
fome,
those bipedal.
Zero-risk
fuerza
security
privada,
aren't as hardcore as
security,
military.
fuerza privada, Rook,
Rogue
Coyote,
Coyote,
Mina tanto
Kunganga
tanto,
mine. A civil war's been going on in that region for the last 20
postrado en
years.
una cama en la
It's being
fábrica,
fought by what are now
este,
two
sí.
ethnic groups.
Eso sí. Vamos a enfrentarnos a Eli primero que nada. ¿Te parece? Así que vamos a patear su trasero blanco. Contigo. En la cara, perra. Oh, bueno, no veo ni una wea. Ya vale. Podemos hacer esto. Ahí está el weón. En la cara, perro. Lo alcanzé a pitear, pero no veo ni una wea. Weón, ¿por qué la agresiva? Vamos a ver dónde está. Ahí. Sigue ahí. ¿Te gustó? Pero divertido cuando sale así de verdad. ¡Anda, boom! ¿Knockout? Sí, muy bien. One Big Boss debe ser como 60 kilos más, weón. Obviamente se lo debe hacer pichulita.
Has that brat finally accepted that he lost? Hopefully now he'll be a bit more obedient.
Ojalá Miller, Dios te hiera. Van a llamar el helicóptero.
Roger. This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Ahora vamos por la foto para ir a hablar con Paz.
This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Me acordé la primera vez que hice el comentario de ¡boom! En la cara, perra, y fue como un disparo a un niño soldado directo en la cara.
Boss, you can now give the order to develop or dispose of nuclear weapons
Solo
from
tenía
your
que
android.
noquearlo.
With a nuclear deterrent, even if you're discovered while infiltrating a rival PF's FOB, most PFs won't dare retaliate. But you, of all people, know how dangerous it can be to have nuclear weapons. So will you add nukes to our arsenal as a deterrent? Or will you take them away from other PFs and dispose of them to help build a world that's free of nuclear weapons? I'll leave that decision up to you.
Eso se requiere para hacer un arma nuclear. Y uno las tiene. Heavy. Yo en mi mejor momento llegué a tener 4. Hasta que vino una huevonada y me las robó todas. Ya pues vamos a hacer las misiones secundarias. Y vamos a comenzar con las fotos de paz. Entonces vamos a hacer... acá. Lo bueno está acá, lo más cercano es aquí. La primera vez fue pero precisa. Fue demasiado divertido. Sigamos con Quiet. Hasta llegar al 100%. Y ahora podemos usar un traje de sigilo más normal. La verdad que uno puede tener diferente equipamiento. Voy a dejar el tiro hecho el equipamiento de guerra entonces. Te va a ser de guerra. Démosle. Muy bien, vamos por la fotografía. Escuchando música, digo la música, los cassettes. Vamos a buscarle el tiro.
Boss, about those invalids you saw in that devil's house.
Poor bastards. All strapped down to the beds, with those lumps on their chest.
The medical staff tell me they were probably a type of cyst.
Cysts can get that big.
In some cases, yes. But supposing they're a kind of atheroma forming on the surface of the skin, the size is just too big, and the appearance is all wrong. In the end, the medical team were at a loss. Those lumps were like nothing they'd ever seen. The fluid you said you got on your prosthesis when you touched one was burned off in the fighting, and the factory burned down too. None of the tests we did once you were back at the base revealed a pathogen that could have caused them. Meaning we don't have a single sample to work with.
Everything went up in flames.
What worries the medical team most is whether it's contagious. Whether there's a chance we could end up like that. And Mother Base's sanitation control has always been strict. After all, war is great at transporting diseases. For the time being, at least. There's no sign of contagion or any symptoms that could be related. One more thing. About the surgery that had been performed on the people in the Devil's House.
Yeah?
You said that their throats were cut open, with an acoustic tube pushed inside?
Right. The tubes were hooked up to tape recorders, playing some kind of audio.
Well, we picked up some of that audio through your radio transmissions and recorded it here. The intel team has been working on analyzing the communications log.
What have they found?
There's nothing tying the contents together. We've got a report on 3 deaths in a car accident.
That's the target.
Marseille.
I remember him. He was off base during the attack 9 years ago.
The former Prime Minister.
Bring him home, boss.
Month-old weather forecast for Balikpapan, and then commercials for appliances, cough syrup, and TV dinners. Assuming they're not all staged, they come off as recordings of your average public broadcasts.
Public broadcasts? Just radio and TV signals?
Yes, and from all over the world. We're looking into whether they're genuine or not, just to be sure. What else? A speech that sounds like it was recorded out on the street, and people chatting about how this year's tomato crop did.
And there's nothing they have in common?
We're partway through the cryptanalysis. That includes checking all audio ranges and running it backward and at different speeds. Then there's vocabulary breakdowns and political suggestions, ideological comment points.
He's coming too. Roger that.
¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué fue eso?
Boss, come on back to base.
Como que me sacaron la fuerza. Tan especial que es Eli. Están cuidando que va esa buena.
There's been an accident in the boys' quarters. A pile of steel pipes gave way and crushed one of the kids. The boy named Ralph. They tell me he died instantly.
Otra referencia al Señor de las
I
Moscas.
should have been keeping an eye on them. I'll let you know if we learn something.
Solo para esta weá me trajeron para acá. Para decir que un niño que se llama Ralph murió. Por eso nos trajeron a Mother Base. Cosa divertida, si tú no has leído El Señor de las Moscas, hay justo un niño ahí que se llama Ralph que muere. Era parte de ello, creo, no me acuerdo. El problema es que fue muy seguido, no sé, fue raro, fue extraño. Ya, pero no importa, estamos acá, tenemos la fotografía. Damos la fotografía antes de entregarla, perdón. Se hace así. En recursos y está al final. no. En base de datos está. Tú lo has dicho, exactamente lo que les falta. Y lo digo por experiencia propia. Esta es Nook, del gatito. Fotografía que lleva un viejo camarada de Mother Base, como recuerdo. ¿Te acordáis que la Paz había adoptado un gatito y le puso el nombre de Nuke? Y ahí son malos con la pobre Quiet. Walk or die. Walk or die. Go to hell, freak. Ok, vamos a entregar la fotografía.
Welcome back.
Vámonos.
Oh, Snake. What is it, Snake?
Una foto.
Oh, here's Nuke. He is so cute. I haven't seen him around lately. Where did he get to? He is the official mascot of Mother Base, so he should show his face a little more. Want to know a secret? I saw Miller feeding Nuke when no one was looking. Meow meow. Come here. Come here, kitty kitty. Come here. Nuke?
Pensar que ese pobre gatito habrá muerto en la explosión de Mother Base 9 años atrás. ¿Quién se vuelve más rarito?
It hurts.
Bueno, ahí murió. Así que vamos a continuar con lo nuestro. No queda otra. Vámonos. ¿Verdad que me puede hacer esto? Esto debería ser tú para practicar tu super puntería o para aprender a disparar hasta lo más. Depende, hay cabros que sí, otros que no se vuelven más raritos, depende de cada uno. En mi caso creo que fue así.
Roger. This is Pequod. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Se la paso toda tranquila escuchando música.
This is Pequod. On station at LZ. Gaining altitude.
Nos fuimos. No me río tu puntería, pero esos retos sirven para mejorarla. Ahora continuemos con las Cyrons en África. Acá hay varias. Podríamos empezar de aquí. No, partimos acá, po. Sin vehículo. Cambiemos esta weá. Esa teníamos que haber elegido. Ahí sí. Y necesitamos acá llevar esto. Las jaulitas. Ahora sí, démosle. Ojalá no nos vuelvan a interrumpir con wea. Tal vez así me volví más rarito, pero nunca lo sabremos. Campo la grada, los cassettes. Quedan caleta. La mamba blanca.
The White Mamba. Nyoka Pembe. He's the commander of the kids based out of Wali Yamasa. As you know, contract forces of Africa were stationed at that village. Anti-government forces hired CRS to bring kids there from around Africa for training. But at some point, the adults with the PF started dropping like flies. This was right after we arrived in Africa. We don't know the cause. The kids ended up on their own. Must have been like fish out of water. Nothing to eat, no way to get back home. All the adults taught them was how to use a gun. Sure, they could shoot targets, but hunt for food? Not likely. They wouldn't have lasted long. Then the White Mamba showed up. He was faster and stronger than them, a better soldier, and he knew how to lead. I guess somebody wished upon a star, because their savior turned up like stardust straight out of the blue. The moment he arrived, the kids had their new commander. That was when they started attacking other villages. Word of the infamous White Mamba spread fast. But it isn't just his combat skills that got people talking. As you can tell from the name, he's the only light-skinned kid in the unit. Not to mention the blonde hair and the blue eyes. Not common in those parts. We have no idea where he came from or what he's experienced. The kid's a huge blank. But I'm sure you'll know him when you see him. One other thing. He's still a kid, so don't kill him. Be careful not to hit him with anything lethal. Not even a flesh wound. Our mission objective isn't just suppressing a bunch of militants. This is a DDR operation of the kids in that unit. DDR stands for Disarmament, Demobilization, and Reintegration. Disarmament is obvious. We take their weapons off their hands. The demobilization part means dismantling their military organization to ensure they can't arm themselves again. To do that, you need to capture the unit's commander and have him order his men to disband. In this case, the commander is the White Mamba. There's nobody above him, so he's all we need to grab. Finally, reintegration. Through education and occupational training, we give them a means to live besides war. A lot of kids born in a war zone don't know any other way to live. So before they find themselves back there, we teach them another skill. I'd like to establish this rehabilitation process at Mother Base. That's why we're bringing those kids back here. It's not so much for their sake. It's for the world that we're trying to create. No other way about it. Those kids are amateurs. Bad for business to have them running around where we're trying to work. Bring them all back if possible. Or as many as you can. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Que tenemos que hacer esta misión. Entonces tiremos a Quiet ahí. Qué raro, habló como en cámara lenta después que se acabara. Otro cassette. ¿Qué viene? Otra
We
más para
placed the White
Black
Mamba
Mamba.
and the rest of his unit in the staff living quarters.
How's that going?
It's a disaster, but what else can we do? We've taken away his weapons and banned him from using his nom de guerre. Apparently his real name is Eli. He must feel like we stripped him of his whole identity. We'll let things simmer down. I put a guard on him for now. Still, the question is, who is he? Where did he come from? And how has he survived?
He's still not talking.
No, he won't say a word about himself. But you know, it looks like he speaks English. One of the deck crew called out to him in English, and he said something back. He just lost it all of a sudden. Started mouthing off at the guy
Ya
in
comenzó
perfect
con
English.
su...
He wasn't stringing together words he picked up somewhere.
So English is his mother tongue.
He could be from the east, or the south, or maybe even further north or south. English is well established in countries all across the continent. It's rooted in Africa like a weed, or maybe parasite is the better word. So just speaking English doesn't help us figure out where he comes from.
Could even be from off-continent.
Right. In any case, we'll keep an eye on him. If we learn anything else, I'll be sure to let you know.
Puta la wea, me dio un evento. Estoy rodeado, weón.
You got to extract him.
Muy bien, acá no hay plano. Voy a estar acá.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Fallé. ¿Te da risa?
He's coming too. Roger that.
Acá está. Listo, una side of menos. Vamos a hacer la siguiente. Con la siguiente tenemos esa. Como están todas lejos. Vamos a ver a cuál de todas estas podemos llegar. recién ahora te diste cuenta. Yo por lo general no se da cuenta, yo no me doy cuenta. Pero de una forma impresionante. ¿Se escucha muy mal?
You gotta extract him.
Ya, vamos a ocupar el servicio de transporte. Vamos al tiro para allá. De arriba para abajo. Uy, verdad que con la lluvia la caja queda media carreteada. Hasta que incluso se deshizo, mira. No es que se va desarmando. Ya, esto tenía que hacer. Ahí se desarmó de nuevo la caja.
About the pathogen spreading through Mother Base. You've seen everything we've got on the outbreak. What's your opinion?
Textbook symptoms of vocal cord parasite. Infestation. And judging from this casualty list, it is the Kikongo strain. Meaning, a breed of parasite that triggers symptoms upon detecting pronunciation specific to Kikongo.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Quite so.
Vamos a darnos la vuelta larga.
He's right. All the victims do speak Kikongo.
So they can survive if they just use another language.
There is no guarantee. You're only dealing with the Kikongo strain. Other language strains may be present. You well know he was teaching them languages from all over the world.
The Devil's House. Nzoya Badia Bulu.
There is no way to know how many strains he has at his disposal.
Sí,
So how do we
heavy
keep them
eso,
from
el
becoming
detalle.
symptomatic? You mentioned using microbes.
Use this. A type of Wolbachia. Introduced to a sample of the parasite.
Wolbachia?
A parasitic bacteria that colonizes the parasites, turning male to female and preventing copulation.
You gotta extract him.
We must cultivate more. What have you done with the infected bodies?
Cremated to stop the spread of infection. But we did keep a few for study.
Good. Take this sample, grind it to a pulp, and introduce it to the larvae now nesting in the dead. The Wolbachia will multiply rapidly within those larvae.
They're soldiers, not some petri dish.
Conventional cultivation methods will take too long. Extract the Wolbachia from those larvae and vaccinate your men. Speakers first. This is the fastest, surest way. No one is to speak a word of Kikongo until the Wolbachia are safely inside them. I will instruct your medical staff in detail on site. You have the appropriate facilities, yes, but do not worry. I made a pact with your bit de Jolone on the honor of the Dene. I speak no lies.
Keep an eye on him.
Will do. Follow me. I'll take you to the medical team.
Now, we must wait for the Wolbachia to multiply in the larvae.
How is the disease transmitted? If it's carried by insects or rodents, then...
There is no intermediate host.
So...
The vocal cord parasites lay their eggs in the larynx of the host. Most hatch and
Recuerdo que acá
migrate to the
supuestamente debería
lungs,
haber un
but some are
cassette.
transported to the mouth through ciliary movement, mixing
Mejor.
in with saliva.
Saliva. Droplet transmission.
Sneezing, coughing. Any food or water containing infected saliva. It would spread fast.
Indeed. And when the larvae migrate to the lungs, symptoms can resemble the early stages of a cold, making it easy to infect others.
Meaning a simple conversation...
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. What happens after the larvae migrate to the lungs?
It is as I said before. They mature by feeding on alveolar tissue. It is only then that noticeable
¿Has
symptoms
escuchado algo cómo
appear
se
in the
transmite
host.
toda la
By
enfermedad?
that point, it's too late. He's infected everyone else. It's one hell of a weapon you've created.
That is what
You gotta extract him.
something that would spread easily.
Me acuerdo
In
que tú
truth,
siempre le disparabas ahí a
it's
los
not the reason,
muñecos.
but we will discuss that another time.
The Wolbachia have multiplied. We're preparing to extract them and begin vaccinating. But is this really the only way? Sure, it'll prevent infection, but the cost?
You would rather remove their vocal cords?
No. Tactical communication's the linchpin of what we do.
What if we were to ban the use of Kikongo?
Insufficient. First, there's no guarantee that only the Kikongo strain is here. Second,
That's the target.
it's a matter of how
I remember him. He was off base during the attack 9 years ago.
they can copy
Bring him home, boss.
be exposed to the
Ya tenemos
pronunciation
otra
of a
foto.
specific language for a period of time, like a container filling with water. But the duration between when the container is full and when the copulation actually
Uy, me
begins
cacho.
varies from case to case. In other words, even if the infected stop speaking as a countermeasure, it may
Vaca.
already be too late.
Qué
The
puntería.
only true solution is to prevent copulation through the
Voy a
Wolbachia,
llevar la cabrita.
or by physically removing the affected tissue.
Do any
¿Cómo que?
antiparasitics work?
It
Uy,
sounds
pensé que
as though you
todavía-
have already tried.
Yeah. We tried every one there is, and nothing.
I have yet to find a medicine that can remove the parasites. At best, it temporarily covers their ears,
Why is that?
because the parasites are companions to us. To remove them inevitably harms the host.
Companions. He's coming too. Roger that.
And this is why the human immune system cannot eliminate them.
Escucha entonces el siguiente cassette. Ya esto ya lo sabemos.
It seems Sahelanthropus' armor is made.
Code Talker, what are the metallic archaea?
Volcanic craters spewing sulfur. Water hot enough to boil your skin off. Ocean depths of 800 plus atmospheres. Wastelands radioactive enough to kill you where you stand. There are groups of organisms that survive despite. No,
Para acá, bro.
because of living in such environments.
I've heard about that. Extremo something.
Extremophiles. By selecting certain species, then subculturing and repeatedly modifying them, I created a metallic offspring of pure
Ahí
archaea.
está.
They subsist on metals rather than organic matter.
And some of them even consume uranium?
Yes. Uranium enrichment archaea metabolize only uranium-235. As a result, they produce weapons-grade enriched uranium.
How is that possible?
Puta, no voy no se puede ir por ahí.
Fractionate carbon isotopes when they conduct photosynthesis. Nature possesses abilities beyond our imagination.
So it was archaea that brought down your chopper?
Corrosive archaea, yes. They oxidize metals, feeding off the energy in the electrons they receive. What became of the wreckage?
We had the R&D team retrieve samples for study in airtight plastic containers, of course.
Prudent. We shall extract our... in good time. They should help you fight back against Black Anna.
Any chance we could start now? It doesn't have to be a lot. I might just have another use for them.
If it's only a small amount you need.
That's fine. I'll get the R&D team to assist. Let's go.
South Africa was previously suspected of developing nuclear weapons. It already had a conspicuous presence at the UN because of apartheid and its armed expansionism. But when neighboring Angola and Mozambique became socialist countries in '74, South Africa felt hounded into a corner. So it accelerated its nuclear program to protect itself. 3 years later, the Soviets discovered a test facility. And 2 years after that, an American satellite observed a flash in the southern Indian Ocean. It said this was South Africa conducting a nuclear test with the help of a certain ally. Skullface used the situation in South Africa to get this ally to lend a hand. They both wanted nukes, so it was a mutually beneficial relationship. On the surface, anyway.
I figure South Africa started getting serious about nuclear weapons production in '75. In '74, the government was still able to get by with bluffing that it had a nuclear arsenal. But the year after, word spread that an independent armed group in the Caribbean was crushed by Cypher for possessing a WMD. That's right, boss. What happened to you and your men was the reason South Africa decided to push ahead with nuclear development. A force independent of any country getting its hands on a nuke. That was a threat to the existence of countries everywhere. It wasn't just South Africa. Your presence pushed a lot of countries to get nukes. The world was scared of you. You were a threat to more than just the Cold War. If nations are gears in a machine, you had the power to smash them loose and watch the whole world grind to a halt.
Los rojos tienen más material. Tienen 10.000, mientras los de este color blanco tienen solamente 7.000. Por eso es más bacán. Mismo envío, pero te dan el doble de recompensa. Para llegar allá tengo que irme como por acá, weón. Una hueá rara. Nos vamos en vehículo nomás. Yo creo que cuando lleguemos ahí vamos a estar. No lo veo en el cielo. Ahí viene. Otro cassette.
Emmerich uses externally powered legs of his own design. It's bionics technology, a product of the U.S. military. You said that the nuke Skullface... Code Tucker. Haven't seen you eat a single thing since you got here. Let me guess. Photosynthesis?
Oh? What makes you say that?
Well, a long time ago, I knew someone with a similar ability.
Well, you are correct.
The end.
Most of my body is covered with parasites. I supply them with water, and in return, I receive sugars they produce when exposed to light. It isn't just my skin either. The parasites also act as my eyes. They have replaced many of my internal organs as well. It is thanks to them that I live on after over a century.
How did you obtain them anyway? Through your research?
I would like to say as much, but there is more to it than that. Let me take you back 20 years. I had hit a dead end with my parasite research. Then I was approached by a foundation. They said they had a sample of an unusual strain of parasite.
Which foundation?
Apparently, they had links to Arpon. But that is all I learned. I was somewhat ignorant of the ways of the world. Just being able to study it was enough for me.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Go on.
Half in doubt, I visited them to discover the body of an old man. Well, to be precise, his partial remains. A collection of parts, you could say. The man had died in an explosion.
An old man, you say?
His flesh had not decomposed. In fact,
comida.
the tissues themselves were still metabolizing. The parasite had infected, or should I say,
la persona que hace referencia acá, este weón es bien. ¿Te acordáis del viejito?
Every day was filled with new discoveries. The parasite's biology, internal anatomy, life cycle. But there was only so much I could learn through observation. And so I made a decision. To truly know the parasites, I had to live with them.
So, you implanted them inside you from the dead man's flesh?
Correct. It was quite a gamble. They would adapt to me. But fortunately, it appears I was compatible with them. Or perhaps, through my many years of research, my immune system learned to tolerate them.
Were they that body's only parasite?
Yes. However, there was a separate specimen that supplied its host with adrenaline
¿Está
in
rico?
response to pain.
¿Lo hiciste tú?
And yet another that could control insects at will through secreting heterogeneous pheromones. I wanted exposure to them, to take them into me. But my wishes were denied. Their records, though, provided clues that helped advance my research. Would you care to join me? A life
Acá tenemos que
spent
rescatar
never
un ave.
worrying about food is a
Un ave,
most
weón.
wonderful one.
I think
Así
I'll
que si ve algún
pass.
pajarito, me avisa ahí.
But thanks. This has been helpful.
El siguiente cassette. Ya, Skullface.
Skullface has finally burned out. The world is rid of his existence at last.
Was he still alive?
You could say that. But you could also say he'd been dead for decades.
What's that supposed to mean?
Biologically speaking, it's hard to say how much was his life.
Side effects from the treatment?
No, the primary effect. Keeping a dying host alive as long as possible. That is the whole point. But in the end, he grew too dependent on his children. As if he had any other way
¿Y
to
dónde
keep
fuiste a
on
almorzar?
living.
¿Todo bien
He
hoy día?
first
¿Te fue bien hoy
underwent
día?
parasite therapy before the Soviet Union became his home. His body was horribly burned. Fire
Pucha,
washed
siempre te
across
pasa lo
his thin
mismo.
young frame
Ojalá te sientas mejor.
and stole his skin and his throat, even his lungs. Only through repeated therapies could the parasites keep him alive. Most of his life became something the parasites gave to him.
And then he lost the ability to die.
That is correct. The parasites live on past the host's death, still aiding cell composition. At that stage, there is
¿Cachaste
no
por qué
way to
Skullface
extract them from the
es
host
así?
cells.
Tiene parásitos.
There is no way of knowing when
Ahí hay
the
uno.
last cell of Skullface's body would die. The
Pero creo
only
que no es.
choice was to burn the whole thing. And his children, along with it. And I am one to talk. When my life is snuffed out, I expect you to treat my body the same way. And when I burn, I will truly be one with my children for the first time. You say there were 3 English vocal parasites.
According to Skullface?
Yeah. Skullface had 2 of the English strain with him. You burned both of them.
There was an oil fire. I tossed him in.
So that just leaves 1. And you tell me Skullface said he used it.
He said it was very close to me.
Very close. One of your comrades. Or someone ordered to kill you. Or he could have been speaking metaphorically.
Metaphorically.
Close to your spirit. Close to your heart.
Hay
Someone who
varios.
either loves you or despises you.
The second one makes a long list.
Whichever it is, act with caution. Skullface implanted someone with the English language.
That's the target.
Who it is irrelevant.
Why?
I tell you what Skullface really meant. Very close to you means
Soy como tu
you
papá,
will be exposed.
cazando aves.
All the infected here have been given the Wolbachia. Even if the vocal cord parasites infect them now, they cannot reproduce. But if there's a different host among us, host to the English strain,
If that were the case, we'd see the symptoms.
what about the non-English speakers?
We have plenty of those, but the staff use English as a common language.
But if that someone has not spoken English yet and begins to speak it now,
There'd be another outbreak.
the final mating pair of the English strain must be found immediately. Skullface is gone, but his threat still remains. On this base, do you see what the final mating pair is? With him dead, Those parasites are the stain he wished to leave upon the world. His thirst for vengeance. In their flesh. Think. Does anyone here bear a grudge against you? Who would target you, specifically?
The ethnic cleansers that Code Talker mentioned, they weren't Skullface's true goal. All we have is circumstantial evidence, but here's my theory. It was Cypher who started developing the vocal cord parasites as bioweapons, parasitic weapons, and Africa was the testing ground for them. As Code Talker said, their purpose is the ethnic cleansing of only those who speak a particular language. So they could do a weapon of mass destruction to eradicate specific groups, races, ethnicities, or colonies by the language they speak. Or a kind of absolute language control. Or maybe a tool for fools to build some misguided utopia. I could see plenty of uses for them. However, in practical terms, they wouldn't be as dangerous as you'd think. Counteracting the parasites is easy, after all. Cut them out of your throat to save your life, or just don't talk. That also prevents the infection from spreading. So if the international community were to find out about them, they'd no longer be the threat they were conceived to be. In which case, their targets would be limited to minority groups, as a deterrent or a terrorist tool. It's hard to imagine Cypher developing something like that as a main weapon for their arsenal. That leaves
subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
One little thread in Cypher's grand tapestry. An obscure corner of their work, possibly forgotten altogether. In any case, things changed. When Skullface was forced to relocate to Africa and he saw that thread dangling. All the time he continued that research, he was secretly following his own agenda. The ethnic liberator parasites. His English language strain. Skullface said there were only 3 samples of the English language strain parasite, and I think we can believe him. Bringing his ethnic liberator's plan to fruition depended on creating an English version of the vocal cord parasites at all costs. But an English strain would have been useless to Cypher. Worse, it could have destroyed...
He's coming too. Roger that.
It was the one type they couldn't allow. That means Skullface was forced to develop his English strain out of sight of Cypher's network. Naturally,
subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
¿Queréis ver algo heavy? Si uno deja a los soldados que están inconscientes, no me vio porque soy bacán. Si uno deja a los soldados inconscientes en agua,
somewhere, an entirely standalone environment. And when his plan entered its final phase,
ya, pero acá no.
It must have made the place disappear.
Tienen que estar como de
Some little
cabeza.
room could be anywhere, but now nowhere at all. We'll never know where he did it. But to elude Cypher's surveillance, it could have been big. I believe Skullface was telling the truth. There were only ever 3 samples of the English language strain. Why activate Sahelanthropus in Afghanistan? This is how Skullface wanted things to play out. The Soviet Union secretly develops a new type of nuclear weapon and successfully deploys it in Afghanistan. Revealing the existence of Sahelanthropus results in a return to the glory days of the Cold War. The threat it poses reignites the nuclear arms race between the world's major powers. The demand for nuclear weapons increases around the globe. What if you then introduced a nuclear weapon anyone could get their hands on? Non-nuclear nations, militant groups of all shapes and sizes, they'd all jump at the chance. Sahelanthropus was a marketing tool to sell nukes all around the world. But I think it's safe to say that plan was stamped out before it got up and running. The world's intelligence agencies never did turn up anything conclusive on it. After all, Sahelanthropus vanished before word could spread. Everything that's happened is already a fading memory, never to join the pages of history. Except for Cypher. Cypher won't forget. They'll already be working on something, quietly, beneath the surface. They'll use the pieces of data scraped together from this incident to build their own bipedal weapon. It'll take them a long time to complete it, but for now, the Greed sector have found their new life's work. We'll have to be ready too.
Sí, se ahogan. Vamos a jugar esto. Ay no, no podemos jugar esta weá aún porque están en... Vamos a avanzar un poco el tiempo. Que vuelva todo normal. Uy, que se demoran las largas estos weones. Vamos a ver si estamos todos ahí en normalidad. Y no me dieron ganas de llevarme ese weón. Puta la wea. Ven para acá. Oh, ¿cómo fue esta weá? Este weá estaba bacán. Tenía un estatus muy bueno. Ahora sí.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Uy, no podemos. Ya pasó. ¿Habrá algún feo cerca de nosotros? Creo que no. Vamos a llamar a Quiet para que no asista acá. No, no creo. Tiene que ser un ataque. Ahí. Está lleno de buenos. Mira, tu amigo favorito, los muñecos inflables. Fuck. ¿Qué tenía que hacer acá? Asegura el plano. Asegura algo raro.
You gotta extract him.
Fire!
Ups. Creo que dejé la cara.
subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Ya tengo que encontrar planos. Me acuerdo cuando tú entrabas y como a un lugar así, sin el arma arriba, me da tanta risa. Era como, lo que estás haciendo no puede ser más suicida. Ah, qué buena puntería la mía. Como está haciendo una cinta y no quiere noquearlo.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Acá están los planos. Vamos. Joya. Conchita mi madrina. Oh bueno, estoy sin supresor. No, me da risa. Puta, el weón justo se movió, weón. Ya pico. Concha su madre, me pasó. Por lo menos no se activó la alarma, pero me quedé sin supresor. ¿Qué hacemos? Yo creo que si me pongo acá paso piola. Vamos fumando una piquita. ¿Qué fue eso? Como que me lo cancelaron. Y eso fue que pasó ese camión cerca a mí. Lo voy ahora de nuevo. Es bacán cómo se mueve el nube y todo. Y ahí volvieron a la normalidad. Ya nos quedan 3 side-ups, así que un poquito. Yo creo que terminamos unas de estas. Volvemos a Mother Base a mostrarle la foto a Paz. Y ya estamos por hoy día, pues. ¿Qué te parece? entrar en la normalidad. Puta la wea. No me caigan a weón. Pero weón, ¿por qué? De nuevo, weón, de nuevo. Ya, le puse. Voy a hacer que pase caleta de rato. ¿Se sienten muy mal? ¿Estás arrepentida del pastel? Pero bueno, ¿por qué? A ver. En volar si me acerco se arregla el tema. Ya, último intento por normalizar la wea. A ver qué pasa.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Creo que hay una wea. Vamos a ver qué onda ahora. ¿Quién me vio, weón? Ja. Estoy pa'l huevo. destruir material de los hueones.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Capturamos 7 ratitas, weón. Lo único que fue un gecko, weón. Y no atrapamos el Shushinoko. Vamos con La Paz y lo dejamos por hoy día. Pero vamos a ver qué podemos dejar desarrollando por mientras. Ya, ahora vamos a poder extraer niños. Niños. Qué buena. Esto va a ser muy divertido. Tú eres la niña rata, no vengas a proyectar tus cosas. Ahora podemos desarrollar varias cosas divertidas. Una wea así. Mira, tenemos el traje de sigilo clásico. Te lo voy a mostrar. Te lo voy a mostrar solamente. ¿Ah? ¿Qué opináis? El traje sigilo de Peace Walker. A mí me sigue gustando, este es mi favorito. Ya. Vamos a Mother Base y vamos a mostrarles la foto a Paz. ¿Cuál es la foto que nos toca ahora? Día de paz, no, día de pesca. ¿Te acordáis que fueron a pescar? Estaba en uno de los cassettes que dejó Paz. Necesitamos ir a la unidad médica. Parece un poco video. Oh, me encanta este video. Disfrutémoslo.
Stay back. It's too dangerous. Back up, kid. I said no. You have to stay back. Some things can't be helped. Back to your quarters. What's going on?
Shabani. Mayaka 9 Kingo ya. Shabani.
It's down there. Hey, the tank at the bottom is filled with chlorine disinfectant. One whiff and you'll suffocate.
No, la última que le mostramos fue la del gatito.
Don't even. How could you let it fall down there anyway?
El Brian. Liquid, siempre ahí tramando algo. No.
Hit the alarm! No! You go down there, and it is over. Boss! Hey! Listen to me! There is no way to recover the body. What kind of stunt was that? Trying to panic us?
Soy yo levantándote después de que te mates. Así no puedo, literal. Bueno, Miller está ciego, pero ve más que nadie, bueno.
Look. Here.
Este Wyatt no está acá. Lo habrán tirado como la unidad médica, una wea así. Lo más probable. Para salir de tu duda, las fotos que se le han mostrado a Paz han sido Miller y Paz, Profesor Galvez, Paz en traje de baño, Nuke, y ahora le vamos a mostrar el día de pesca. Están todas relacionadas con las cintas o los cassettes que escuchamos en su oportunidad, como el diario de Paz.
Boss, welcome back.
Oh, Snake. What is it, Snake? Somebody took this while we were fishing. That day, I figured out that it doesn't really matter if you catch a fish or not. just waiting for a fish together can
Sí,
be the most
eso
fun
es lo
of
que
all.
creo. Y así nos vemos.
Oh yeah, Chico got all worked up and almost fell into the sea. When they do some more fishing, tell me, okay? My head, it hurts.
Y las fotos van quedando acá. Así que de ahí va a aparecer como por acá, yo creo. Estaba pensando que no tiene ducha Paz.
The real me. I am...
Sí, habló en los cassettes que escuchamos antes. ¿Te acordáis que en Peace Walker ella dejó como una serie de cassettes como de diario de vida? En esos cassettes habló como de todas las cosas que le pasó en Mother Base, cuando ingresó, cómo se sintió ahí, el día que rescataron a Nuke, cuando fueron de pesca. ¿Te acordáis? En una se enfermó, cuando estuvo trabajando en la cocina también. Llamemos el helicóptero. Nos subimos al helicóptero y hasta ahí yo creo que llega el streaming.
Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Pequod.
Ahí está
On
Coayo,
station at LZ.
la enfermería. Nos fuimos.
Gaining altitude.
Pucha, si lo pones así, sí, pero si lo pensáis bien, son fotografías que le traen buenos recuerdos por el otro lado. Entonces, como una cosa por otra, no todo es malo. Y yo creo que el streaming, en la que está grande Mother Base, va a llegar hasta acá el día de hoy. Como siempre, bueno, Shaban, un gusto haber compartido el día de hoy contigo. Y lo pasé muy bien, todo entretenido. Terminamos ya por lo menos el final. Y lo que nos queda acá ahora es como lo último, pero lo más emotivo en realidad. Y hay que seguir avanzando. Así que muchas gracias por todo el día. Que duermas muy bien. Muchos besitos. Y duermas bien. Hablamos pronto.